Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Culture Distinct podcast. It's your boy, DJ Kylea. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. Hey, it's a long time coming. I'm glad you guys are in these Houston streets. Hope you guys are being safe because it's raining outside, and hopefully the sun is going to shine. Every time they have some rain, there's always going to be sun at the end of the road. So that was a message, inside message. We starting off with gems already. Starting off with gems already. Shout out to gems. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the show. I appreciate you guys for telling a friend to tell a friend about the Culturally Distinct. Make sure that you tell somebody what we got going on over here. I already know you guys know what it is, but, you know, I like to bring some interesting individuals up here. And today we have, I'm not going to say two weirdos. We have one weirdo, right? One weirdo, right?
I love it.
But we have two guests, and we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. I'd like everybody to welcome to the show. First of all, Kylea, she been on here the second time, right?
This is my second time. I really support you.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I really do. Support black businesses.
Hey.
And we have Faith over here being quiet.
What's up? How are y'all?
Faithy.
How you doing, Faith?
Faithy rolled another one.
Hold on, give me your hand clap, Faith. I got you. There we go.
Good.
How you guys doing?
We're good.
Y'all all right?
We're alive. We're surviving. You know, we woke up today.
That's most important.
I see you have the sage over there.
Well, you know, sometimes when weirdos come into the studio, I have to sage them out. You know what I'm saying?
You see the hat?
So you know what's funny? With the sage, it's funny you say that. Like every guest that comes up in here, they like, Adam, why you got the sage in here? I'm like, well, some people believe that sage is like it dismisses evil spirits.
Yeah, it cleanses the energy.
It makes the energy cleaner. So when we have a conversation, or when individuals do come up here, they have a clean spirit, I want to say.
Okay, well, I'm already walking in with a clean spirit, but yeah, I feel you.
So I ain't gonna tell you the backstory conversation we had before she got up in here, but you know, we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
All right, guys. So, guys, before we get started, like I like to do it, I like to have the people know exactly where you guys are from. So, Kylea, you start with you, then we go to Faith.
I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised, baby. A real Houstonian.
Shout out.
H-Town, all the way.
Okay. So, what part of Houston?
Part
Oh,
originally.
Don't,
oh God. Hey, look.
Chicos are, you know.
Everybody.
Well, shout out to Pasadena. That's part of Houston.
No, it is. But I've literally lived in Houston, like mainly like Galleria area since I was like 18.
Okay.
So, and I'm 34 now. So that's a long. I can call myself a real Houstonian.
Oh yeah, you good. So that's still metropolitan. So now, if you say you was from like Montgomery County, or like what's that past Channel View somewhere, that's a little different. You know, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you're good. So Faith, what about yourself? Where are you from?
So born on the East Coast, raised on the West Coast.
Okay.
But I've been here like 7 years.
What part of the East Coast?
West Virginia.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Jeez.
Lord.
Hold up. Are there any black people in West Virginia?
Not anymore. I moved.
Oh, wow. That's
So,
funny,
yeah.
right? Shout out to the one black person that moved from West Virginia to Houston. So why did you come to Houston?
Life. I lived in Dallas.
Okay.
And then I started doing music videos, and so I was in the industry, and then we met because Kylea is super talented.
Okay.
She does the music, and so
Thank you,
we
baby.
collided, and so she's been my muse because I sometimes shoot her. And
Oh, that's joint. That's
she's
dope.
been,
That's
like, the
dope.
realest one since.
Friends to the end. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So when we get started, let's get started. So I want to first start off with this Deshaun Watson thing, right? I know we talked about it briefly off the air. What you guys think about this Deshaun Watson situation? I mean, and before we get started, I want to put it in context, you know, and I'm going to be paraphrasing a little bit, but Deshaun Watson, you know, he got allegedly, well, no, really wasn't alleged, but because he paid the people off, but he got accused for sexual assault in 21 women, right? 21 women got paid off, right? He got traded from the Houston Texans, wound up getting traded to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns then gave him a $250 million contract. After they gave him that money, he got the bag, and then next thing you know, they wanted more money. So NFL came back and said, well, okay, we're going to suspend him for 6 years. Right? 6 years, I'm sorry. Six
years.
games.
I said, Lord, you might as well just give that career up, baby.
Yeah, and suspended them for 6 games. So the women aren't still satisfied. They want a piece of that $250 million. So what you guys think about that?
Of course they do. But I wasn't really actually too familiar with the situation. I guess I've been out the loop. But you told me about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like he might be guilty because it's like, why are you paying people off? But then also, you know, people have a lot of things to say about people who are in high places, you know? So, I don't know. I feel like some of the women may have participated in it a little bit.
Being a man, you know, I gotta tread lightly on this. I think that 21 is excessive. That's a lot. I think he did do some of them, but not all of them. I think some of them did jump on the bandwagon and say, okay, well, y'all getting paid, I'm getting paid too. But
yeah, because when you're like, did they like accuse him of this like right off the rip when he did it, or was it like?
No, this is over time. So backstory, there was like this happened when he was at the Texans, when he was playing at the Texans. So over time, you know, he was at the Texans for like 3 years, something like that. So one lady came out, and then actually something happened when he stood up and he spoke against the owner for the Houston Texans. But the owner died, but he was a big Trump supporter. And Deshaun Watson said something about it. So they set him down for a whole year. And then that's when all the accusations started coming up. And that's when he requested a trade. And next thing you know, he got 21.
I mean, you just never know. It ain't none of my business, but since the topic's being brought up, I don't know. I just feel like you never really know, right? It's like some of these women might be out for money. Some of them, it might have really happened to, you know what I mean? And some of them might have participated and then saw that the other women were coming forward. So they're like, oh, I'm going to get on this too. So I don't know. It's a sticky situation.
Well, I think, man, I don't know. What you think about it, Faith?
I similarly agree. I think to each they own, they know their truth. I can't speak on it because I don't know. I've been in situations where people try to, like, you know, like I've been in situations where I've had to stand up and make a statement, and then after I've stood up, more people have come in. Okay. But I wouldn't say anything's lesser, you know, but 21 is a little bit excessive, and just because the drive is money, I think you have to be more mindful in seeing, like, where it's coming from, like what space it's coming from. If it's coming from, oh, I want justice, not like, oh, I just need money for it, versus
it's money.
Like,
if
it's all money driven, I'd be weary. If it's like, no, I want people to know that this happened to me, and I don't want it to happen to other people, I think it's kind of...
It's hard to, I guess I can't really relate that much also because, like, if anything ever happened to me like that, I'm a very strong, and I'm not saying that women who don't confess right away are not strong. I'm just saying they might be a little bit more weak-minded. And, you know, from their childhood traumas, I don't know how they were raised or how they were brought up, but me, someone doing that right off the rip, I'm going right off the rip.
So it's like, all right.
I'm telling it.
So like the term sexual assault, it's like it's so broad. Because sexual assault could be, I grabbed your leg, or I touched your shoulder, or it could be rape or molestation. Of course. It's a broad topic. So when somebody says sexual assault, what did he do? He got naked on a massage table, which he's supposed to do. He told the girls to grope him. They
could have said no.
But that's why it's like weird, because it's like, okay.
And you know what? He has a beautiful girlfriend.
But that don't matter. If
she's so beautiful. You know I bet I'm praying for her because she's really probably the one that's really hurt.
Right.
In all this.
So if your man had $250 million, would you be hurt? No.
Yeah, I would be, because it ain't about the money for me.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
It's really about the principle. I have my dignity. You know, like, I don't know.
Speaking of that, let's talk about this. Because I'm glad you brought that up. Because you said dating. So let's talk about toxic people and dating.
Okay. Are you toxic?
I'm not toxic.
I think you're a little toxic.
I don't think I'm toxic. Well, one, you got to define what toxic is.
When adults have braces, they're toxic.
Nah. Look,
why your mama didn't get you braces when you were young?
We ain't have insurance. Hell, look. Couldn't afford it. But, so, dating while toxic, being toxic. Do individuals know they're toxic when they're dating?
Faith?
Oh, they quiet over here. Where my cricket sign?
I feel like it's a certain stage of healing you're at because you have to grow. Because there's times where I can, like, in my, like, as you grow and progress as people, and we've had a conversation about this, where I can look back and be like, oh, I was toxic. We actually just talked about this. Like, there was a time when I realized that I was toxic because now as I've grown out of it, the people I used to be around, I'm like, oh, what the? Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
Well, how did you know you was toxic, though? Like, what were you doing?
I was drinking all the time.
Okay.
I was out. My focus was being out and being seen. Even
low
like,
vibrational energy.
the food I was eating, like we're vegan. Like I wasn't vegan then. We were like if you're drinking, we just talked about this. Like when you're drinking all the time, you can't be high vibrational. It doesn't matter about. You said this. It doesn't matter how much yoga you do. It doesn't matter how much balancing. If you're putting a substance that's poisoning your body every day,
right,
you can't reach your
and altering your perceptions because it does.
It really does.
We know. You know what I'm saying? When you drink alcohol, you ain't yourself. That's why a lot of people drink because they don't know how to be themselves, like in front of people they don't know.
Right.
But when they get that alcohol, ooh, you see a whole different person.
I think people. That's true. That is true. But I think that. And add a caveat to that. I think that alcohol expresses or enhances what a person is already. So if a person is a happy, cool, down to earth, like a chill person, that's what they're going to be when they're intoxicated.
I couldn't agree with that because my mom is a very like happy-go-lucky, loving person, and when she drinks.
She's wild.
You got to zoom in on that camera?
Yeah.
Okay, when she drinks.
She's wild.
She's mean. She's really mean.
That might be her inner person.
She don't drink no more, but she's really mean. And I'm just like, that's not you. Like, there's a reason why you have to make wine. Like, the grapes have to go sour. They have to go bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And to add on to that, it could, and kind of like you're saying, it could be your shadow self, like the things that people don't bring to light and they don't work on. I think liquor brings out your shadow side.
Correct.
So some people, if they work on their shadow and they drink, maybe they might not come off like that because they've controlled that. But like if you don't work on your shadow self and you don't want to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, no, I'm not perfect because I'm human.
Right.
That's kind of what happens.
So in saying that, y'all use the term high vibration. Right. When I think of vibration, I'm thinking of something that
you're thinking something nasty, huh?
Shout out to the nasty mind people out there. But I want to think about nothing nasty. Get your mind up together, Kylea. But no, I'm thinking about when something is vibrating outside of Bob. Right.
Bob, I would never date no one with the name Bob. He ain't getting close
what Bob
to
is.
this.
You know what Bob is, right?
Who's Bob?
Battery operated boyfriend.
I don't have one.
That's what
I like the real thing.
Oh Lord, here we go. We gonna get into that though. So no, when I think about vibration, I think about something that's broken, and it's a reaction that's causing it, right? So when you guys said vibration, what do you mean by high vibration and low vibration when it comes to the humans?
There's just you're like more conscious and more aware of things. You know, when you're like in a higher vibration, you know, you're going back to your true self.
Okay.
Not the image you're trying to portray for people who are around you because you're scared of being judged, right? We just all want to be accepted.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of how I see it.
I guess when you think of vibration, everything vibrates, like every cell, every molecule. That's like kind of the level of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why
everything has energy. We're energy, you know?
Energy is never created or destroyed. So that's what our vibration is. And even like with the low and high, the low is necessary for the high. So it's just where you're resonating at that time.
Right.
And finding the balance.
For sure, the balance. It's about the balance.
Because one of Kylea's really good friends, her father had we talked about this the other day, where it's like the pendulum, like where if something's really good, it can also be really bad.
Absolutely.
So you just want to be balanced. You don't want to be too like up and down, so you can kind of.
So basically, saying like a chakra, the chakra level.
Hello. What was that? Your ice machine?
Ice machine, yeah,
the slime in the ice machine.
Right. So you talking about basically like the chakras and being balanced. So have you guys, speaking of vibration and higher conscious, have you guys heard of what ayahuasca is?
Ayahuasca. He said ayahuasca.
When I say ayahuasca?
Woo,
ayahuasca.
baby. I hope we got that on camera.
Hey, I'm sorry. Have you guys heard? First of all,
she's done it.
Hey, I wanna. Yes.
I've never done it. Sorry, Faith. I put her out there.
She's like, I never done it. Look.
I've never done it, but she has. But
and look, you know what? Now, before you get into that, this is the story. Everybody that I know that done it, they said that when they went on to the trip, right, it was unexpected, but when they went in, whatever trauma they had, it took them directly to that point in their life. It could have been childhood, it could have been whatever happened, but it takes them directly to that point. And then, now, I'm going to let you explain it.
Okay, I'm listening.
But then, outside of that, once they come to a resolve, then their higher self, some people say it's God, some people say it's their inner self, it speaks to them, and they come out of it a better person.
Well, Kylea can justify. So, that's not true, because
we're talking about now.
With ayahuasca, it's different for everybody, and every time you do, it's different. I've done it like 5 times.
So tell the people what is ayahuasca.
Lord, ayahuasca.
So in the world of like plant medicine, because that's what it is, it's a psychedelic plant medicine where it's from a root, and then there's also they use another substance to activate it. Mm-hmm. And so basically, it helps you open your third eye and go into self. Some people would say you meet God when you're on it. I'm careful with how I say it because it's like you said, where people are like, oh, I went and healed myself because I did it. Mm-hmm. I've met some people who've done it a lot, and they're the opposite of healed because they've done it too much. They get an inflated ego. They think they're God now because they've been in this space.
Whew.
So,
but I thought it was like an ego death, though.
Yeah, it's your choice. Nothing can do anything for you. Like, even like plant medicine, it's like, say I have a stomach ache, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like me going to a doctor and them cutting my stomach out and giving me surgery when I just needed to maybe not eat what I'm eating. And if I don't know what's wrong with me, like if I don't want to face myself, ayahuasca's not going to necessarily make me face myself. Some people it can. It just kind of depends how much work you want to do.
So I'm saying, what was your experience? Like, give me exactly your experience. You ain't got to pinpoint it, but like, what did you remember going on that trip?
You see everything energetically, like your love. You just love everybody. You understand. This is why people say
that sounds like Molly to me.
There's a lot of stuff you can love. Weed, liquor.
I love everybody when I done
cocaine.
I don't do
cocaine.
Drugs.
But you feel the oneness that, like what we would say, like the love, like you just feel like, oh, I know I'm connected to you, and I just love you so much. Like you just want to like embrace, and you're just, I don't know, it's hard to put into words. Like you're very high vibrational, but it also swings again into that low because it's a trip. So you have to start somewhere to get to that high.
You just got to take it, because you're gonna have a different experience than her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what you guys think about this? Since you guys talking about that, and y'all talking about two ends of the pendulum. What y'all think about sex?
That's such a broad question.
Because
I love it, man. I love it so much.
Because because some people say sex is a spiritual encounter.
It is.
Right? Sex is it's a spiritual encounter, especially when you have sex with multiple people.
Exactly.
Right? And some people say that you take a piece of that person when you leave that person or when you have sex with that person.
That's why you got to be careful who you have sex with.
But sometimes people don't know. Some people just are in the mood, or they have a chemistry, or they're in the feeling, or they have a high vibration at the time.
Or they're drunk.
Or high, or whatever. And they have sex, and next thing you know, but they don't know they're carrying that. So what you guys think about that? That sex vibration, emotion, feeling type deal.
What do you?
It's a very broad.
Okay, we being real. Not.
Hold on, let me put my glasses.
There we go.
Now. Listen.
She got to hide. No filter over here.
No, sex is, I was married for 10 years, so I only had sex with one person for a really, really long time.
Okay.
And then when I got out of that, I kind of experimented. That didn't last too long, because what started to happen is, like you said, you take on feelings of whatever that person may be going through.
Right.
And it gets stressful. Like, really stressful, man. I don't know how people do it, actually. I mean, I've only been having sex with one person for the last year, so.
What do you mean stressful? Like, how is sex stressful?
No, I'm saying it can get stressful having multiple partners and dealing with.
I got you.
Whatever they might be going through, and then they penetrate you, and all of a sudden you feel the things that they're feeling.
Absolutely.
And you're like, I wasn't a stressed person before this.
Right. That's real. That's real.
I was fine. I was great. You know, or, you know, have you ever like had sex with someone and then afterwards you feel really sad?
It's like a conviction, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
and
why
I
did
don't
do this?
understand like why people, men or women, but like especially in my experience, if you have sex with a man and then you don't try to like get to know him, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like now we're trying to get to know people now before we have sex with them,
Right.
and be more open up front. I was just telling her the other day because I went, you know, I don't go on dates,
Okay.
but I did go on one. You know, we're just friends. We're adults, right?
Why you don't go on dates?
Well, because I've just been interested in one person for the last year.
knows what she likes.
So it's like
So you don't
I
date
don't
nobody else?
go on dates, even though we don't live in the same city, and we don't have a title or
that's
anything. We
interesting.
just have like a mutual respect and love for one another.
You got real good discipline. Especially like in the city of
What-
Houston. There are a lot of appealing individuals in Houston.
Yeah, no, I know, and it's like I'm not sore on the eyes. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like I get approached a lot, but I went on a little, you know, date
A
or
date,
whatever.
yeah.
We're friends. We're adults. I knew him from back in the day.
Okay.
So we were just kind of like reconnecting. I'm calling it a date, but I had no intention of, you know.
Doing anything, yeah.
But we started having a real conversation, and we started to talk about sex, and he likes things that I don't like, and I was like, wow, you know, people need to start being more real up front right away about what they like with sex when it comes to sex. Because if you knew what that person liked, you might not want to have sex with them after that. It
Really?
might not be for you.
Really? I see. No. I'm a little older than you guys, but
How old?
I'm 40s.
Ooh, he stopped. He said,
right.
I'm 40s.
My 40s. But
Well, you know, black don't crack, okay?
right, but I'm saying that our conversations back in the day was different because we never discussed sex. The only thing we discussed was the expectations after sex. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to be together. We're just going to experience this for the moment. We could continue to be friends, but we don't discuss, okay, well, I'm going to put it there. I want to do this.
But there was a lot more monogamy back then
Yes.
than there is now. Everything's so easily accessible. So people think like, you know, it's like, oh, well, I could have anything I want, where that grass is not greener on the other side. Like, trust me. Like, that's where it gets stressful, right? Where it's like multiple people, multiple energies.
But that's funny, though. That's funny you said that. I wanted to ask you that, but I kind of strayed away from it, but now it's here since you kind of brought it up. As far as the generation separation, like, you know, not generation. I ain't say we were different. We just did things different, but because we hid a lot of stuff, and we knew how to hide it and get away with it. This generation is open with everything. Everything's on social media. Everything is out and open, quote unquote, the term being real.
You got to go with the times, though.
What is it? No cap?
No cap,
No
baby.
cap.
Ain't no cap over
Real.
here.
But I'm saying it's like, okay, some things has to be discreet. But this generation doesn't believe in that. Everything has to be exposed. Everything has to be shown.
I still believe in that, though, because I'm 34. I just turned 34
Okay.
on July 30th. So I just, you know, it's still Leo season. Shout out to all the Leos.
Oh, your birthday about to come up, huh?
No, it's July 30th. That already passed.
Oh, it's passed. Okay.
We're in
Oh.
August, baby.
Happy belated. I'm sorry.
Thank
I got
you.
Happy belated.
Okay.
I got you.
So I was still in that generation where it was like, you know, I had a house phone and the boys were calling my house
Absolutely.
phone, leaving me voicemails.
Absolutely.
You know, they were writing me love letters. Ain't none of that going on
Nah.
now. They got the iPhones. They could just go on to social media, see if you've been active. Like, that's why I have a love-hate relationship with social media, because I don't like it if I text someone and they didn't respond, but then they put a story.
Oh.
Like, what?
I got you.
What?
I got you.
Don't do that.
So you're saying they won't text you personally, but they hit you with the DM or they hit you with
I guess
Instant
Instagram,
message.
you know, people are more active on it.
But we also have to
I don't know.
understand the space, because on the other end of that, I totally understand where like someone might text me and I might not be in the mood to talk to that person just
Okay.
because you understand, like sometimes I'm cool to just be mindlessly on Instagram, and maybe because the little bit I'm
Right.
26, so for me sometimes if I don't text back, it's because I'm just scrolling and posting.
See, but you're in that generation where it was like you were being brought up in
In the
you know, the
technology.
Facebook. Yes,
Right,
exactly.
we started with Club Penguin, really.
What was
It
it?
was Little Club Penguin.
Oh, no, I don't know nothing about
so
no
when we
penguin.
were younger,
Was that a porn site? What was that?
No, it's like this little chat room for
Oh, okay.
kids.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
So you're right. They were technically grooming us for social media.
Exactly, and that's what I'm
because
saying.
I remember being in like fifth grade.
Mm-hmm.
You ran home so you could get on the chat room and you could chat with people.
Oh, wow,
And
I didn't
so
know
like
that.
they really kind of
Because
groom our
before, you
generation.
know, even when text messages came to be, if you're like texting someone and they don't text you back, well, you don't know like what they're doing. They're busy.
Yeah.
Right.
But now it's like everything's exposed, right? They could have posted on Instagram because that doesn't take too much energy.
Correct.
But talking to someone or, you know, whatever that person may be texting you, that takes energy. It takes effort.
Right. So
This generation is not too much effort, I feel like.
yeah, because it's easy, it's accessible, everything. And I'm not saying that's bad, but having access is always a good thing. You know, you had to have relationships to know somebody to get access to certain things.
Exactly.
You know,
That's where I came from.
That's why celebrity was a celebrity. It was hard to get in contact, or you see a person's like, oh, I need his autograph, versus I could talk to this person on Twitter every day. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's like, and now when they see you, it's like, okay, I talk to them all the time. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's making paper, it's like, I guess I want to say it's making the inhuman human.
because they've always been human.
Scary times.
Right. But that might be how it's
But you
supposed
got
to
to
be.
go with the times. So it's like I'm trying to work on not taking things as personal.
Right. Right.
You know, because I'm like, how could you take something like not personal when it's like personally being done to you? Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
To me.
That's true.
I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense.
So do you think men and women could be friends?
Now, you know, I've already done a podcast about this,
I'm
and
just
it's
asking.
on my Instagram.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And, you know, it was me and another guy who did the podcast, and his answer was like, yes, of course, right? Because he has friends
Mm-hmm.
that he's friends with right now. My answer was like, I don't really think, can men and women be friends? Yeah. But can they really be friends? No. Because one or the other is always going to want,
More.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Time.
I haven't had not one guy friend who didn't want to,
Smash.
if that's what you call it.
Really? You never had like a friend that like you grew up with, like
Yeah, that I thought the whole time was my friend, and then later on he ended up confessing his feelings.
Do you have friends
I have a lot of women friends.
that you have you appreciate them and you have no sexual desire for them at all?
Yeah.
But they probably have a sexual desire for you. They're
But
just
that's-
not telling you about it. You know why? Here's the thing: men and women. I mean, I believe in God, right?
Mm-hmm.
To each is their own. But men and women, we were made in pairs. We're meant to be together.
Absolutely.
We really are.
Yeah.
That's why back in the day,
They were
like
smashing everybody.
my grandfather, he saw my grandmother and was like, "You're mine. We're getting married. That's it."
Nah, it wasn't like that back in the day.
Yes, it was.
See, back in the day-
in them 50s, in the 40s, the
So-
50s,
Back in the day, they had 3 families.
you choose someone and that's it. You don't.
The grandfather had her over there. He had the person he was staying with, and he had somebody across town. Because that's when you grew up, you were like, damn, you my brother?
I just still feel like they had more of a value on, you know, relationships and
family?
togetherness and family
It
and.
depends the culture too, though.
Right.
So
true.
I think it's very like it depends the culture, and I think especially like in like African American cultures,
Mm-hmm.
because of like the trauma that is in the DNA from what's happened
Slavery.
in America and all
Yeah.
that. There's a level of lack of commitment from our men because
Mm-hmm.
really they're traumatized from what happened when they couldn't protect their women. So in their DNA,
That's a good point.
Instead of facing it and being like, "Oh no, this hurts me," they're like, "I don't want to face this." And to feel emasculated, how do you feel like a man?
Right.
You conquer something. And what is it when you're with a woman? When you're just fucking? Can I say that?
Yeah, right.
Ooh, she said the F bomb.
Talk about
I think
it.
we need a little toot.
Yeah, go ahead. Shout out to the F word. F words.
When you're just fucking someone versus making love to them, you're dominating them.
Correct.
You're not honoring that divine feminine with the divine masculine. You're dominating them. So
Say more.
Instead of facing that trauma that is going on, our men are using that as a force of domination to get their masculinity back. But really, they're not. Because if you feel like you have to do that, the real masculinity comes from being like, you know what, this is me, this is who I am. Actually, this morning, I was about to send you this. I was listening to this. The Way of the Superior Man talks about the superior man wears his heart on his sleeve no matter what. Like, even if it hurts him, he's going to face it.
Okay.
But I feel like a lot of times, and even in this generation, we expose everything, but instead of being open, we're angry. And we need to shift it from like anger. And you know, I'm not perfect with this. I'm human, so I'm even working.
Yeah,
on
we're
this.
all evolving. We don't claim to be perfect at all. We want to be better, and it's a conscious effort every day. Like, okay, today I'm gonna be in a good mood regardless of what happened. Like, I'm gonna push through. You know, it's a choice.
That's good. But the thing is, what I hear and what I see from you guys, I hear that you guys are every day striving to be more and more positive. Even though negative experiences do encounter, but you guys
damn near every day.
every hour, right? But you guys desire to be better than what you was the day before, and that's a good thing.
Because there's so much like hate right now going on in the world. Like people like us are like diamonds, like because you know, exactly because you know we're really trying to like be more conscious and take accountability and forgive and you know say sorry and you know all the things that you weren't supposed to do, you know, maybe like, you know, back then.
But do you guys think that is like too soft?
That's what I'm saying. Back then, right? They don't want you ain't got to apologize about nothing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't think that's too soft. I think when I tell people, even when people tell me like, oh, you're emotional, I'm like, I am. I'm so in tune with my emotions, you know, I absolutely am. And that's why people don't want to feel, right? So they're just like, they avoid it at all costs.
But that's good though.
I think emotions is a powerful thing. I think
you have to be brave to face it.
Being too soft, being too soft or whatever you want to call it, I think that's like a powerful thing because, you know what I'm saying? Like from the beginning of time, I just feel like we were all like originally made
we're meant
of
to
love, you know?
We're all just love.
Exactly.
So me being hard is because it's a hurt. Whenever you're angry, it's a secondary emotion. And so we're really loving beings. And this is kind of like I was saying earlier. The concept of you're too soft is toxic masculinity. If you want to go back to that toxic term.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what it is. It's toxic masculinity because we all have masculine and feminine traits within us. Our DNA is masculine and feminine. Now the woman, feminine on the woman and feminine on a man looks different. But we have to balance it within us.
Unless they're gay. Not messing with you.
I want to say one thing though before we change the topic. I ain't never been toxic in not one damn relationship.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to the lies that's been told at the Culturally Distinct. The lies that's been told.
Nah.
but I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But a lot of people might see it and be like, what is she? I don't understand what she's saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's like everything isn't for everybody.
Right.
But it's only for the ones who understand at that moment.
And at that time, that's all that matters because all we have is the present.
Correct.
Who's meant to hear it will hear it. And if they're not meant to hear it, that's not their time.
Correct.
Whenever it's
and you know the power of words and you know everything that you say is a manifestation. Even when people are like, "Oh, I'm dying," I'm like, "No, you're alive and well."
Right.
Right.
So you're
Like,
speaking it basically.
don't say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like words are really powerful. They cut deep, and so it's like, you know, either you want to feel good or you want to feel bad. Like
Right. So do you guys think that the manifestations that you say also carries over to your lifestyle for is living a holistic life, eating vegan, stuff like that?
oh yeah, because we're eating high vibrational foods. Therefore, we're thinking on a higher level. That doesn't mean we don't make mistakes or we don't fall out of our character or we don't mess up or, you know, hurt someone with our words. But the difference is that we try to see both sides because everybody plays a role no matter what.
So, but why? All right. So when you said high vibration foods.
Yeah, like we eat living things,
foods,
therefore we could be
colors.
living. We can keep growing.
Too many living things like animals?
No, living things
It's
like
dead when you eat it.
fruits and vegetables
That
that
was living
came
before.
from a tree that was living in it and it you know produced the fruit.
Okay.
When it's
Those
raw,
types
it's
of
alive
things.
Still. Like when you eat a raw food or a nut, it's a seed.
Okay.
It's life. If you look at it, so when I was on ayahuasca, I'll bring that full circle. When I was on ayahuasca, I could see the energy of it. Meat is low vibrational, and they actually tell you not to eat meat before it because you'll see the spirit of the animal.
That's
And
true.
you'll throw up.
And when you're on ayahuasca, you don't want to eat, but when you do eat, you want fresh living food. You don't want anything processed because you see the energy of it. So that's when we're saying high vibrational foods, food that raise your vibration. And that's what this whole generation and beautiful thing about everything being exposed is that's being exposed too.
Right.
That what we're being told is food isn't necessarily food. And you
It's
know,
not. It's like
There's-
cardboard and other mixtures of other stuff.
And look, y'all eating junk, and you wonder why you're treating people like junk, you know, and you're
real.
getting treated like junk
Right.
because that's what you're bringing towards you because that's what you're doing.
I like
you know?
that. Say that again. Say that again. I like that. Say that again.
Yo, junk. No, I'm just kidding.
You eating junk. You treat people like junk. You feel like junk. That's real.
You feel like junk. If you eat junk, you're going to feel like junk. You're going to treat people like junk. And you're going to bring people to you who are going to treat you like junk too. It's all intertwined. All of it.
That's real though. So
But
that's,
you eat clean, you eat healthy, you eat living things. You're going to think on a higher level, like how you're supposed to be. I mean, our ancestors, like, you know, they were eating from the land. What was in
Right.
season,
right.
you know? I feel like
But
I don't
no.
know.
But the thing is, okay, so like you said, I
the
think
truth is like right there in front
it's
of your
like
face.
I think like the generations are lazy, right? Now some people, don't get me wrong, a lot of people are conscious now. They're more conscious. I believe they're more conscious,
Right.
and they're aware of what they like. For instance, I used to eat meat. I don't eat meat no more. But yeah, shout out to me. Shout out to
Yay!
me. But and
Meat
this-
is also very acidic.
But this is being real though. Sometimes if I'm hungry, like mad hungry, and I don't feel like going nowhere, I might go in there and get some fish or some shrimp.
Everything in
Right.
moderation, balance.
And that's real. But it's not eating. I'm not eating it every day.
You
like
know,
that.
when I went overseas, I ate fish. I was a
Okay.
flexitarian when I went
a
over.
flexitarian.
A flexitarian. It means I'm flexible with what I eat.
I got you.
But
I
when
made
I
a
went
turn.
overseas, you know, because I was
Vocabulary.
eating from a different sea, if you know what I'm talking about, a different body of water, not the
Right.
Gulf where it's filled with plastic and oil rigs and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I felt so good after I ate it.
Mm.
But the other night, when I went on my little, you know, I don't even want to call it a date, but whatever, a date.
It was a date.
And
kissed him at the end of the
I
night. It
had
was a
ordered
date.
this vegan salad and it was amazing. But he like ordered this yellowtail and was just like, please try it. And I didn't want to be like
It probably was good.
it was amazing. But afterwards, when I went home, I started having the itchies. I started having the itchies.
What it's called?
Because
Wait.
I originally went vegan because I started having problems with eczema. That's originally why when I got
Gotcha.
real conscious about my food. After I turned 30, I was like, what the hell? Like, you know, people get adult eczema, adult asthma. I'm like, I got asthma and eczema. I ain't worried about none of y'all motherfuckers.
But you know what that's called in 2022, right?
What?
Monkeypox. Nah.
Oh, Lord.
Nah.
Nah, listen, viruses can't live in an alkaline body.
That's true.
And my body is alkaline. I drink. Can you pass me my water
Let me see.
bottle,
Let's
please?
check the water bottle up.
Look, and
Handmade.
these are some manifestations for the water too. Love, you know, light, truth,
Okay.
abundant, wisdom, vitality.
You make the water?
Huh?
You make the water, or you just buy it like that?
No, I have a Kangen water machine, and so when I bought the machine,
Oh, that's dope.
right, it has all the pH levels on it, and they gave me this. There's something about the blue glass that keeps the enzymes alive
Inside
in
of
the
it,
water.
yeah. Okay.
So it's I drink 8.5 usually, sometimes 9.5.
Okay.
So I try to stay alkaline, and fruits and vegetables are also alkaline,
Right.
right? So it's like. That's what we're gonna talk about, the pH levels. Some of y'all be stanking and not know why.
We're gonna talk about that. We can talk about that because I was going there next. Actually, I really was going there.
Okay.
So as you drink the water, so a lot of people I understand enzymes. I understand mitochondrion and potassium.
I love
and
these
proteins
pronunciations.
and things like
Right.
that. I understand that, but like you said, what you put in your body is how your body starts smelling, how your body starts tasting, right? How your breath starts smelling, right? And a lot of people don't realize that.
Even your skin, how your skin looks. It's the
Correct.
biggest organ that you
Correct.
have.
So, but could you guys go into that like a little? Because a lot of people say, I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I got my paper. I'm doing what I do. I'm going to give me a
Okay,
steak.
well, go on ahead and stay stagnant in that.
But some people, but at the same time, and this is another argument a lot of people have. They have this. They said you could be the healthiest you are in your life and live right to you like 40. And you can eat pork rinds and pig fat and live to 100.
Right, but they're suffering that
But
whole time they're living.
yeah, are
they're
they
suffering.
It's a mentality.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's why some people don't go that route. You know what I'm saying?
Are they
Especially-
really living when they got arthritis, clogged arteries? They done had a heart attack at 30. You know what I'm saying? They got arthritis. They can't open a damn can good. Like, come on now.
And
Gout.
then Even
Exactly. They got diabetes, stage 2.
Even spiritually, like being vegan is a spiritual thing too. It's not.
Okay.
It's not just like eating clean. Like you were saying, you get clarity. Like you get clarity, not just in your skin, not just on the superficial, but spiritually, you feel that.
Also, when I eat too much sugar,
Oh,
I
yeah.
get sad. I get more like,
Really?
I'm not gonna say depressed because I don't really get depressed. Anytime I'm in like a bad position, I always think like it could be worse. You know what I'm
She's
saying?
amazing at that.
So thank
Really?
you.
She's
Yeah,
so
I mean, I
positive.
feel my feelings, but I just am like, okay, it could be worse, you know. But I don't know. I just when I wake up and I have a green juice or I eat fruits, like I'm happy. I want to be nicer. Like I want to be more loving.
So would you date somebody that doesn't do that?
I mean, I was in cahoots with
I'm-
someone who
I'm-
wasn't
I'm-
living
I'm-
that way. But the difference between him and a lot of people is that he wants to be better.
Better, okay.
And he's starting.
I got you.
You know? So if there's hope, great. But
Okay.
people who are stubborn and stuck in their ways, it's like, okay, and I bet you're constipated at night because of all the nasty shit that you
Well,
eat.
you know, some people just don't take it that serious. I understand you guys take, but it's like some people call it extremists. I'm not saying you guys are extremists,
Right.
but some people say, like, some people go to church 7 days a week. Some people drink only water, or some people, you know what I'm saying? Some people work out. Like,
I bet they're happier.
some people work out twice a day, every day of the week. Some people are just extreme when they do, like extreme personalities. But I get it, you know what I'm saying? That's why me personally, I don't judge nobody on how they want to live their life. If it makes them happy. But I tell everybody, don't force that on nobody else.
No, I don't force my beliefs on anyone, but I do share my knowledge of what I know,
Good.
especially if someone's willing to receive it. And I'll know right off the rip if they're not.
Right.
I won't even waste my time. I mean, my dad has diabetes, and I
Okay.
try to tell him all the time, and he's stubborn with it. And then he'll be like, oh, then he'll tell me, so I'm in pain, and I just sit there and I'm like, okay.
Right.
It's hard for me to be super sympathetic about it.
But
I love you, Dad.
You gotta be though.
But yeah, and it's he's my dad, right?
Right.
But it's like at the same time a little bit of tough love. Now you know I've done cooked this amazing meal that has fresh fruits or fresh vegetables, whatever it may be. But he will eat my food, you know. But it's just like then I'll go in his room and he'll have like this big empty like pie thing, and I'm like, you have type 2 diabetes.
And eating pies and shit.
Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess as a, I don't know. I guess as we all evolve as individuals, we all got to help each other out.
Right, and I'm willing to help anyone. That's why, like,
by
I
example.
love telling people what I know, especially if they're willing to receive it and listen. If they're not, I won't even waste my time.
Okay.
Because it's their life. You got to live that life, not me.
Right,
I'm
right.
living this life. But people that I really love and care about, no, I'm a little like, come on, you got to do better. You got to be better.
Right.
And sometimes we need that, and that's when y'all talk like when you talk about like being soft. Like I'm grateful for the times when we can have a real conversation. Like that's better in a friendship. It's easier to have a real friendship. My realest friendships are with people who can be like, "Hey, no, that's cool," versus pillow talking. So it's the same thing.
Ooh,
It's about
pillow talk.
Pillows.
Ooh, get deep with it. Pillow talk. Just go
He's
right into
bad.
it.
He's bad.
Just go right into
Look, he
pillow
didn't even got
talk.
the camera on him because he know he bad.
Pillow talk. Oh, okay.
So,
I
like,
got you.
I don't know, like, you know, like, we're talking behind, like that's one thing, like, standing in who you are and your identity, that doesn't mean you have to be like me. Standing in our identity is being a light, so if someone else identifies with you too, they can follow. And I think a lot of times, and especially with people who are strong, and you're a Leo, you're strong, you're a light.
Stubborn.
Like, one,
You say strong, I say stubborn. It's
I
okay.
am a little stubborn. I am a little
in a good
stubborn.
A lot.
way, though.
I am a little.
A lot.
I've actually been told I'm stubborn and I'm a narcissist. So, but I know that's.
Therapy.
Well, hey, I wouldn't be against therapy.
Ooh.
I go to therapy.
I
But you
wouldn't.
know, and that's the question I want to ask you guys. Since you guys live this vegan, holistic, spiritual, high vibrational life, individuals that live that lifestyle are narcissistic.
Not
I think.
all of them.
That's
Well, I think we all have
think that's a fact.
narcissistic qualities. Every
I think
single
that's a
human
fact.
being has narcissistic qualities. We all play the hero and villain. We all
Yeah.
have it within us. It's just a matter of finding the balance. Now, the number one trait of a narcissist, if you want to get really into it, okay, Donald Trump. No, I'm just kidding. But where's your signal? No, but is a lack of empathy. A lack of empathy.
Okay.
Narcissists lack empathy. I'm one of the most empathetic people.
Okay.
So I may have some traits of a narcissist, like we all do, but there's levels to this shit.
Right.
Let me just say that.
That's true.
Yeah.
I get it. No, because I guess with my experience dealing with individuals that live different lifestyles and I'm not saying you guys are, but living a poly life to a holistic life, those guys, like I said earlier, those extreme personalities and behaviors are narcissistic because they're saying, I do this and you don't do it, but I'm better than you. They're not saying it with their mouth, but that's how they're presenting themselves.
It's all delivery. And it's
Correct.
all how we talk about it. I understand 100%. I know this.
She
Look,
done live with a narcissist, full-blown narcissist.
Right, so,
full-blown.
and they kind of helped me transition into veganism. Well, we had already started it, but when
there's good in the bad, and
Yeah.
there's bad in the good.
But
Like, we know that.
they were very narcissistic with it. Like, they were like, oh, you're not all so holy and vegan and this and that. And you're right. That person is a complete psychopathic narcissist. Like, but they also
Psychopath.
She added the psychopath on it.
So-
Ooh, baby, Lord forgive us for.
different day. But
Yeah.
Right.
it's how they're not empathetic because they go and they preach this, but when it comes to themselves, they don't look in. They only look out. And so that's when we were saying about toxic. What toxic is when you project instead of taking it inward. And that's something that
I think
Kylea-
I do a little bit of both.
You're good about teaching me not to project, though. She points it out.
But it don't
She
mean
always
that I'm
reminds-
not a little projective sometimes, you know,
yeah,
especially
definitely.
around the month when I'm about to start my period. You
Right,
know what I mean? I'm a
right.
little,
little bit
more
more
irrational.
projecty.
But like I said, the thing about us is that even if we are in that moment, we always, analyze the situation, try to see it from both sides, and then take accountability
Correct.
for where our shortcomings.
Correct.
Because no one's perfect.
So I think the main thing is awareness, right? Awareness and understanding
Consciousness.
where you are, right?
Yeah.
Where you are and what you're doing. So if you're aware and you're doing it, that's different versus saying, okay, I want to be a better person, right? So let's fast forward because I can talk about that all day.
Okay.
All right, let's fast forward to Long Beach, the Long Beach interlude.
Ooh.
All right, shout out to the Long Beach interlude.
Hey, called your phone like 2 times.
Hey, so look, Kylea, talk about what's the creation behind the single and what was your thought behind it?
Need your glasses?
Woo, where's my glasses? No, I'm just kidding.
It was a man. I already know what it was, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, it was a man. It's always, I'm inspired through love and loss.
Okay.
So I think I talked about that last time.
Yeah.
But I was definitely inspired. And I love people who get me in that inspirational state. So shout out to him, because I was really inspired to write the song. It's actually a true story.
Mm-hmm.
The music video is coming out, and
Okay.
it's very interesting because I did some acting in it.
Okay.
Faith was there.
Okay.
So I want people to know that, I act too. I sing, I act, I dance,
That's dope.
So, right? Thank you. So, yeah, it was obviously about my experience with the guy, and how he made me.
You made a song about it.
Yeah.
He must have been a good dude, or he must have some good loving. I'm just saying.
Both.
That's what.
He's a good dude,
That's how
and he got some good loving.
That's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to say his name, but shout out Long Beach.
But, okay.
And when I heard the beat, it had like a pad in there from like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
And that was like my generation. So I just kind of pictured like,
Vibe.
like for some reason I pictured like Snoop Dogg and like a lowrider smoking a blunt. Like I was just like, okay, like, so that's kind of where that old school vibe came from as far as the music video is concerned. Cause I based it out of like kind of like the 70s.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really interesting, but it is about a guy. It's my story. And I had my friend Ghost jump on it and give a male's perspective.
Okay.
So
it's basically like a woman / man's experience with an ex.
No, not an ex, just a present relationship.
So it says.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the guy you with now. Ooh, that's heavy. She's talking about subliminal context in relationships.
Shout out Almighty Matt. He's the one who made the beat. He just commented on my live.
Oh, you confident. See, that's that narcissism we were talking about. How you gonna have a song about the person you're with, good or bad?
Well,
Beyonce Lemonade. Oh,
I
my
think
goodness.
that, sometimes we
Right.
live in a fantasy about a situation because we want it to be something else than what it really is.
Right.
And I think that was the case here, that he was kind of honest, like, hey, we live in different cities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how much energy I want to put towards this, but I care about you. Like, I like our connection. You know what I'm saying? And then, the love was kind of built over time. So it's just kind of me expressing myself in that way. Kind of like, it's not really something I could say to him because he already told me what it was, right? But I could say it to everybody else, because they might be experiencing the same thing.
This is what I want to ask you guys before we get out of here.
Okay.
Right. And I'm glad you inspired this question.
Okay.
Right.
I love that.
Love.
Love. Love.
Love.
My foundation.
What does love look like when it's presented to you? If you never experienced it, what does it look like?
Well, I've had it.
Okay. And
With my
And what is
husband.
that? Okay. With your ex?
Yes, with
Your-
my ex-husband.
Okay.
Who I love dearly. I feel like, do you want to? Because
You
I've
could
been
go.
talking. I'll answer, but I want to give her a chance too because
So,
love
Love
looks
is
different to
different
her
for- yeah.
than me.
Yes, yes.
so love for me is God. Love
Okay.
is all. Yeah.
Oh, we getting a fakey emotional.
Look.
I love it. Here, hold my hand. She's a real lover. You
I
see this?
see.
You've made her cry.
I see.
That's
It's-
real love.
I like it.
Love is, I was moving and she put everything down for me. And she was there.
Okay, now you're not gonna make me cry right now.
My God, what's going on here? What's
Love,
going on?
you know,
Look, you want to talk about love? You talking to some real lovers.
Yeah, no, and like love is looking at my daughter. Love is looking at my family. Love is how I feel for myself when I look in the mirror and I'm like, man, I messed up. Man, that shadow self, man, I'm kind of narcissistic. I have anger issues, but I love myself and I know that I'm okay and I still love me. That's what love is. And if
That's
until we
beautiful.
have that foundation, we can talk about the love you're talking about because
Right.
that's
Rare.
That's the next level.
Yeah.
Because most people don't get this level of they're like, I love me regardless. Love is unconditional.
So that's what I was gonna say. That was gonna be my answer. Love for me is unconditional. Because my ex-husband, we're not married anymore. He has a new wife. He just had a new baby, and he still is there for me 1,000%. Whatever I need. I mean, I try not to ask him for anything, but if I needed something, he would be there, and that's not his obligation anymore. So love is unconditional. It's when you're not forcing your beliefs on somebody and you're accepting them for who they are, and
Correct.
you're just trying to set an example.
right.
Correct.
You know, you're loving them for their highs and their lows. Let me tell you something. Like Lauryn Hill preached about this, that people don't know real love because as soon as someone stops stimulating you, you're like, bye,
Right.
see ya.
See you.
So love is unconditional. That even if someone acts out of character, that you're not judging them and you're loving them unconditional for who they are, and knowing that with time maybe they could be better if you set the example.
I like it. I appreciate it. Look, guys.
Yeah.
Look, since you guys we wasn't supposed to go that heavy and everything. but you
Oh, I
got-
know. You done made my friend cry.
I like it though.
Yeah.
I like the transparency and everything that happened on the show.
Yeah.
So guys, this is what we like to do when we end the show, right? Because the thing is how you express that love. I want you to express that love to somebody else. 'Cause I'm pretty sure somebody else gonna reach out to you. Somebody gonna reach out to you, right? And not just talking about love, just talk about the experience about, being a vegan, holistic, and how
Right.
you guys transition from where you were to where you're trying to go. So I want you guys to give you guys social medias, your information for as Long Beach Interlude. Where can they find it?
Yes.
Social media, websites, whatever y'all guys want. So whoever want to go first.
So my Instagram is check the number 4 Kylea, Kylea, check 4 Kylea. You know, if you're smart, you'll check for me. Long Beach Interlude is on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. And the music video is already recorded. We just haven't edited it.
Okay.
Life has been busy, but we gonna get on that, and that's coming soon. That's gonna be a really big deal
That's dope.
because it's gonna show some of my acting skills.
Okay, we're gonna see. I'm gonna judge it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we know. Look, he judgmental, narcissistic.
Don't forget your movie coming out too, B.
I am in a
She's in
movie,
this movie.
the Monstrous film. It's been delayed. Film is like, there's a lot that goes
Yeah,
into
absolutely,
it and
yeah.
a lot of, logistics behind it. So, but I am in a film. So, catch me on that too. Things are coming.
right,
this is a marathon,
All right.
not a sprint.
All right,
So,
actress. I see you. All right. Faith,
Yes.
what we got?
So you can check for me on Instagram. I'm not checked for Kylea, but on Instagram it's Faith Oshun, Oschun. Yeah, I'm social media management, ex-video vixen.
Hey, she's in. Tell them some of the music videos you're in, okay? With some famous people, some big famous
I
people.
work with Gunna, Dirk.
Really?
Drip too
Lil
hard, don't
Baby,
stand too close. You
yeah.
gonna run.
Kevin
She's in that
Gates.
video.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just mommy moding it now. That's why I look like this.
We ain't gotta do too much. We just
How can I be a video vixen?
look.
I got
When
you.
my
I'm
next
gonna work
video,
for you.
you gonna be in my next video as
Yeah.
security, okay?
Yeah. Hey, look. Guys, y'all see that look? See how they look? Y'all see how they do me? But guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Look, make sure you check for these individuals. You're gonna see them. If you see them in Houston, make sure you walk up to them and ask them. I'm pretty sure you guys gonna
Ask us
talk back.
anything.
You ain't gonna turn them away, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Just approach us the right way. Just approach us the right way. Like,
look,
hey, I
ask-
saw you on the Culturally Distinct podcast.
That's right. And like, ask for their numbers because they're single. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm dating me right now. I
Okay.
ain't single, baby.
What is date? You're single, right? You're married?
I
So
mean,
you're single.
married
So we're going
yourself.
back to that. So we're getting out of here. Guys, look, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is Mr. DJ KO, Culturally Distinct Podcast. Tell a